Great morning, you all. How are you doing? Happy Tuesday. Like I always say every day, this is your girl, Shan. So, every Tuesday, I always thank individuals and those who support us. My radio show, Marriage Mondays with the Kings, we're on last night at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. We really got into some things on our show on last night, and we spoke about how to reset your marriage. If you're in marriage and you feel like your marriage is getting complacent and things like that, how to reset your marriage to its original setting, being God. Today I want to speak about some things maybe said because I'm like, oh Lord, you really want me to say that. But good morning, Dalisha. What I feel is that a lot of us, in a sense, don't really think about for things in regards to our marriage and our relationship with others until someone breaks it down. Now, I say this from time to time, and I'm going to say it again today. Don't get mad at me. Get mad at God. Pray to God. Have a relationship with God. I don't know what is going on in your marriage or your relationship. I have no clue. You know what I'm saying? I'm only being obedient and saying what thus says the Lord. Now, this is what I feel before I get into today's topic. Good morning, Sheree. What I feel is that when we direct our anger towards individuals who are telling us the truth, because you know those who lie to us, they love me, they got my back. No, they don't. They lying to you. Now, if you surround yourself with people that lie to you, then that's on you. However, I need us to understand this. Understand that when things that are saying that are truthful and the person don't even know what you're going through, you have to understand you getting upset with that person is not going to benefit anything, okay? It's not going to do anything but further hurt you. But I mean, hey, if that's what you do and that's how you roll, and then you sit up and wonder why is it that you ain't got nobody around you and all this other kind of stuff like I was saying yesterday. So don't direct your anger at me, because I don't know what you're going through. Now, let's get into today's show. Cousin Kim, or today's topic. I'm thinking I'm on the radio show from last night. But today's topic, in order for your marriage to get better, you got to quit playing on the surface. Oh, yeah, we about to have some conversation on today. This is going to be for the mature, grown-up folks who are able to handle a mature conversation. If you used to applesauce and baby food, baby, this ain't what you want. So go ahead and click off. I don't care if it ain't nobody on here. Somebody who needs to hear this, God is going to make sure they need to hear it. Now, let's talk about this marriage. I do understand that a lot of people, good morning, Connie, are not forthcoming. A lot of people are not very expressive about the way that they feel. I do understand that growing up, a lot of individuals were taught not to have a voice. I do understand that. We grew up in an era, many of us, where a child is to be seen and not heard, all these little things. And I'm not going to lie, a lot of the things that we were taught were good, but a lot of the things that we were taught, it hinders us. Say, for instance, like, husbands not willing to share their emotions. They keep stuff down inside and stuff like that. Well, a lot of that is birthed from, oh, you don't show your emotion, you're a punk, don't cry, and all this other kind of stuff. But we do not understand. I'm talking to parents right now who got children, how that hinders the child when they get into a relationship. Now, what I'm finding is a lot of people like to remain surface. Let me tell you what surface look like. Let me go ahead and break that down for you. What surface looks like is I'm just going to put in barely enough to make it work. I'm just going to put barely enough in my marriage to make it work. I'm going to make sure that it look good, that everybody else, when they see our marriage, it look good. It look good on social media. I'm not willing to put in any work. I'm not going any deeper. It doesn't matter. I got the ring on my finger. That is all that matters. Y'all will be shocked at the number of people that we hear say this. Remember, we've been in Marriage Mondays with the Kings for going on, I think it's 2.5 years. We're going on 3 years right now. I'm not speaking from the counseling room. I'm speaking of experience going all the way back to 20 years ago. Now, think about people, and it may be even yourself, that this is how you are. You like to remain surface. A lot of people like to use this scapegoat mentality. Now, it works in some cases, but mostly don't. If it's not broke, don't fix it. Baby, it may not be broke for you, but it may be broke for your spouse. Okay. Now, if your husband or wife is sitting up wanting to have a whole conversation, they want to go deeper. This is what I don't understand. And I'm going to say something in a minute. Y'all about to be mad. But hey, I did. God, this is what you want me to say. But it's about along the same lines. And I can speak, from experience. However, We have to understand when we desire to make it safe, that doesn't mean, or play it safe, that doesn't mean that it's healthy for our husbands or our wives. How is it that when you first started dating, when you talking on the phone and all that, I don't know what they do now because, I've been out the game 21 years. So I don't know, what people do, chats and rooms and all that kind of stuff. However, how is it that when you first started dating your husband or your wife, oh, you opened up your heart? Now, this before y'all said I do. You opened up your heart. Yeah, this is how I feel. Yeah, this is what I've been through. Yeah, it was hard and this and this and this. Maybe more so us women than the men. The men make sure a little bit, hey, I grew up without my daddy. Yeah, it was a little rough, but I made it. Well, what does that mean? We're not going any deeper in that. We're just accepting it for face value of what it is. That's why people don't know, like I was talking about on yesterday when I was speaking about love. That's why you don't know what love means to you, because you haven't went any deeper with it. Hey, Miss Delia, you haven't went any deeper with it. But like I said, you expect your spouse, and I'm not going to talk about tomorrow, but I'm going to say this piece. Hey, Heather, you expect your spouse to be a mind reader. You expect your spouse to know everything. You opened up to them in the beginning when you were dating. Oh yeah, girl, this look promising, girl. He might ask me to marry him. I might be the next Mrs. King. You all happy about this. But where did the breakdown happen? Where did the breakdown happen to where you no longer felt that your husband or your wife was safe enough for you to open up your heart and talk to? Or let's keep it real, or was it that you just gave just enough in the beginning just to hook him or her? Just enough. You didn't open up your whole heart or whatever. And then you sit up here mad and got an attitude because they not making you feel like you should be on the top of the world, even though you treat them like dirt. Now, this is what I'm about to say gonna hurt your feelings. I said, oh, Lord. Now, because I'm trying to brace myself because it's gonna sound really harsh. Okay, let's talk about this real quick. You know how growing up, you had somebody maybe in your family who was sexually abused, molested by somebody in the family. Y'all know my story, right? By somebody in the family. You know how you got those family members that they protect the abuser instead of the one that was abused. They protect we don't want Uncle so-and-so to go to jail. Well, Aunt so-and-so, she just got out of jail not too long ago. And this is what you're telling a child that don't even know what the heck. Listen to where I'm going. It's going to make sense in a minute. We don't want to get Auntie so-and-so because this time she might go to jail for a long time. So we just going to keep this our little secret and we ain't going to tell nobody, okay? And what is the child going to do? Say, okay. Now see, the ones who was supposed to protect that child didn't go deeper in getting, the help for the child, the understanding for the child, making the child feel protected. None of this kind of stuff. We get mad when we have family members that do this. We get mad when we have family members that don't stand up for the little kids and then they victimize the kids for what a grown person has done to them. We do the same thing in our marriage. Some of y'all ain't gonna agree, but if you think about it, we do the same thing in our marriage. Our husband or wife is hurting. They don't understand what they did. You dealing with, let me correct that. You are wrestling with your own demons that you are not willing to deal with. You tell them, you maybe even say, well, this ain't your bag, this for me to deal with, but you're not dealing with it. However, you are hurting the individual that you are married to because you are not going to get the help that you need. You are not giving them a sense of protection. You're really not. And some people say, well, Shan, I don't really see the correlation. If you think on it long enough, you probably will. And I'm not trying to change anybody's mind. To me, in that sense, you are not, when it comes to your marriage, protecting your marriage. Good morning, Cousin Kim. What you doing is saying, oh, no, it's okay. You just deal with it like the parent tells the child or the family. But you just deal with it because we don't want to get anybody in trouble. What a person who's wrestling with their own demons that they're not willing to deal with, you tell your husband and your wife, you just deal with it. Because I don't want to have to go any deeper. I don't want to rehash any of that kind of stuff. I don't see, I'm married to you now. So what's the purpose of even bringing it up? True. If you have been delivered and healed from whatever it is, that demon that you're wrestling with, and it's no longer a demon in your marriage, I can understand that. However, if it's manifesting itself to hurt your husband or your wife in a negative way, then baby, There is no difference then, because you telling your spouse to deal with it just like a parent would just tell the child to deal with it. And the child don't know what they dealing with, just like the spouse don't know what they dealing with, because you won't open up your mouth and talk about it. You see what I'm saying? Now, people tend to get mad. Now, I'm just trying to get y'all prepared for next week's show, where we're going to be talking about past hurts. And why is it that people choose to just, carry this past hurt instead of actually dealing with it, even if it hinders their own marriage? Why aren't you truly dealing with it? What is it that you feel? You know what I'm saying? That, oh no, this is just my thing. I understand you don't want to burden your spouse, but the word of God says the two become one. So what you got to understand is if you feeling it, your husband and your wife is feeling it too, or they're feeling the ramifications thereof. A lot of people's marriages do not elevate to the highest level that God intended for it to be, because people are remaining surface. You sit up and you wonder, man, why is my marriage stagnant? I don't understand. Oftentimes we don't want to examine ourselves. I'm telling you, because we don't want it to be made or manifested that we are the one that's in the wrong. You see what I'm saying? And even if we do recognize that we are the ones in the wrong, we take that bag that I always talk about, that bag of responsibility, and we put it on our husband or our wife. And we make them the fault for why I wasn't protected as a child when I was little. We make them the fault as to why the ex-wife up and left me, and she left me for another woman. You see what I'm saying? We make them the fault because we chose not to heal with it. We chose not to go deeper. Now, I ain't trying to get up in anybody's business. Y'all know, as a therapist, I'm going to encourage that. You know what I'm saying? Get your tail some help. And then, like I said, you wonder why your marriage is not working. Often, always, the common denominator is you. Often, always, the common denominator is you. So I want you to ask yourself, if you a husband or a wife, and you can, don't get me wrong, you can have relationship with God, you could be praying to God, you can have faith in God, but God is telling you to move. That's what he's saying, because faith without works is dead. That's what the works. You're not doing the work, but you expecting God to do the work based off of the faith that you have in him. And therefore you throwing the responsibility on him when God is saying, I need you to move. So yeah, your marriage can be better, but you got to be willing to do the work. Ask yourself, why are you not willing to go deeper in your marriage with your husband or your wife? What did they do to you? Some may say, well, Shan, mine and hurt me and this and this and this, but I forgave him. I forgave her. But did you really? No, you didn't, because every time y'all fight and argue, guess what comes up? The same old stuff from the past. Some of y'all right now is sitting up here thinking, me and my husband or me and my wife go through the same vicious cycle. We argue over the same thing. It's like he doesn't respect me. Man, it's like she don't listen to nothing that I got to say, man. I ain't even the man in my own household. I ain't even the king of my castle. But have you ever sat down with your husband or wife and decided, we need to sit down, figure out why we keep going in this unhealthy loop, this unhealthy circle that keeps us arguing for the past 14, 15, 16 years, and identify where the problem is and how this started. Now, let me tell you what that looked like. That doesn't look like you blaming your spouse. Me telling Kenya, well, if you wouldn't have did this, then this wouldn't have happened. No, because guess what? Even if my husband did something, I, Shan, his wife, have a responsibility as to how I'm going to react to it. Like I used to tell y'all, when me and my husband, we used to argue and fight all the time, baby, it was tit for tat. You heard me? And neither one of us stubborn behinds was backing down. Oh, we wasn't. And then we throw some words in there. The only thing I didn't do was talk about his mama, because, you know, in the South, you don't talk, you know, that's, don't nobody talk about your mama. I don't care if you don't even like your mama. But anyway, bringing it back. But then when I got sick and tired of being sick and tired, we arguing over the same thing for the past 14 years. I had to set up and think, what is the problem and what happens that allows us to escalate? What is said? So I stopped having my little smart mouth and I started falling back. And I was being a little smart, because I remember telling my husband, well, you argue with yourself and let me know which side I need to come back. And so that was still being smart. However, I started reeling back as to the way that I was reacting to it. You will never get to a deeper level in your marriage if either one of you all are not willing to mature. It actually takes both of you all. And so this in which I'm talking about today is for mature individuals who desire better in their marriage. Like I say, you could pray down to heavens, baby, but if you're not willing to do the work, you can't say, God, I'm waiting on you to make my marriage better when you're not willing to work on it yourself. And God is saying, I'm waiting on you. So some people may say, well, Shan, no, you being too extra. It's not even like that, baby. I've been in this marriage thing for I don't know how long. Not talking about me personally. I'm talking about sitting down and talking to individuals about marriage. And then, these are the individuals, and I'm not talking about in the counseling room. I'm speaking just in general because me and my husband used to be leaders in the military and all these type of things, sitting down with soldiers who had marital issues and all this kind of stuff. You see what I'm saying? I'm talking about when you sit down with an individual and the first thing out their mouth is, this is what my spouse did. Well, my spouse did that. Well, and then I'll sit up and say, well, what do you think you can do different? Well, why do I have to do something different? Because it's not me, it's them. Baby, you part of the problem. You are part of the problem. Because think about it. Like I used to tell my husband that was a little smart mouth. Think about it. Your spouse, they can't argue if you're not arguing with them. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, they may get upset because you choose to remain quiet. They may be even asking you, oh, you don't love me anymore because you don't have nothing to say. No, baby, I choose not to argue with you because I desire our marriage to go to a deeper level. Think about it like this. You have a tree and you can pick the leaves off the tree all day, but the issue lies in the root. So if you're not willing to get that shovel and put in some work and dig to the root, because the longer that you choose not to deal with it, the stronger the roots get and the more that it will divide your marriage. But people don't want to hear me on today. So if you and your spouse are not willing to get that shovel and dig down deep to the root of the problem, you can never expect that marriage to flourish. You see what I'm saying? You can't expect that tree, which is your marriage, to get stronger. Well, I'm comfortable where I'm at. And that's why your marriage is complacent. And that's why you're sitting up here with your lips stuck out, because you're seeing somebody else that their marriage is flourishing, but you don't know that they put in the work that you're not willing to do. So even if it's like I had to do with my husband, baby, I'm going through some things right now. I'm trying to work on me. I'm praying. I'm seeking God. I'm fasting. All these things. If I'm acting some kind of way, it's not towards you. I had to let my husband know that. And I will share on next Monday's show something that it blew my whole world. As I've been praying to God for the past 2 years, God started working on me. And that's the thing. We need to allow God to work on us. I wanted my marriage to be better than what it is now. And it's nice. Our marriage is nice. It's beautiful. It didn't always used to be that way. But then once God showed me and showed me how things manifested and the things was running through I had to come back and talk to my husband, and I had to apologize to him. But we'll talk about that on Monday's show when you talk about dealing with past hurts and how it manifests itself in your marriage in a negative way. So I encourage the grown-up married folks, not the ones who going to make excuses, but the grown-up married folks, take what's being said today into consideration and ask yourself, are you comfortable where you are at in your complacency in your marriage? Or do you desire to go in a higher level? Like we say in the church, God, I desire to go in a higher level of you, God. I desire to be higher. That's what we say when we get to praying. Y'all heard it in my voice, right? Because what's in me. That's what we say. But yes, it's amazing to desire to go higher in the things of God and his will and what he has for you. But why are you not desiring to go higher in your marriage? Come on. Let's preach on today. I'm not going to preach. I ain't even going to put the robe on today. But anyway, I just wanted to bring encouragement and something that makes you think in regards to your marriage. What is preventing you from going higher in your marriage? Is it because you don't want to go deeper? Even if you're single right now, you desire to be married. I encourage you to ask God and go before God and ask God to show you. And God, what is some things in me that need to be healed? Because that may be preventing you from being in that happy marriage. That need to be healed in me, God. Work with me. Don't leave my side, because the things that God show us is going to be painful. I just went through it 3 weeks ago. But show me, God. The things that I need to heal, help me heal. Allow me not to be afraid and go through this process so that way I could be a little bit more whole for that whom you have for me. Okay? So like I said, this isn't for the adults who always make excuses. This is for the grown folks who want to have a happier marriage, and you want to feel like that you can be vulnerable enough to share your heart with your husband, and husband, you can be vulnerable enough to share your heart with your wife. Husbands will share their heart with their wife if they know that their wife is not out there being cackling, telling all their business. You see what I'm saying? Wives, I have learned, they don't mind sharing their vulnerability and being vulnerable with their spouse as long as it provides safety. Good morning, Melissa. As long as they feel safe, then they will share their heart, knowing that husbands, you won't be going back telling your cackling mama. Okay, let me get off of people's mamas on today. So y'all have a blessed day. Don't let anybody steal your joy. Hey, Sonya, share this because it's free. Be a blessing to somebody today and not a curse. And your girl Shan, trust me, God gave me a whole bunch of new material, and I'm going to bring it. All right, so y'all have a blessed day and blessings to you. God bless.